Greetings, villains and vigilantes, heroes and heroines. You're tuned in to Project SuperVillain. I'm your host, ArcDrifter, and it's the month of June coming up. We've got plenty of awesome games coming out. So these publishers got some pretty cool games coming out in this next month, and we're going to hop right into it. Let's jump into the top 5 games of June. Number 5, Madison. Alright, coming out on June 24th for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S, and Series X, and also the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be developed by Bloodiest Games. I think that's how you say that. Bloodiest, if not, I'm not too sure. Bloodiest Games seems right to me. But anyways, it's a first-person psychological horror game. Looks really intriguing. Clearly, it doesn't have like some sort of like combat in it, but it features the ability to interact with plenty of items throughout the game, so I'm sure that it's kind of more of a puzzle-solving kind of thing. The threats you're going to face in this game are probably things you're going to run away from more than anything. In this game, you are held captive by a demon, and you're forced to engage in some sort of demonic ritual for them. I'm not 100% sure what you're doing, but look into it more if you are curious. It's coming out later this month. Items you'll use seem to be like cameras, matches. I'm sure there's plenty of other things. This is obviously how you're going to solve many of the situations, is by finding various things and using them. But that's all I have for this game. It looks pretty intriguing, but there's not a whole lot of information about these kind of games usually when they come out. They're really a lot more about the surprise and whatnot, right? The shock value. Number 4, Silt. And coming out right at the beginning of the month, so just in a couple days here, if not tomorrow or now, I'm not sure when this video is coming out, but anyways, it's coming out June 1st, and it's going to be for PC and the Nintendo Switch. It is developed by Spiral Circus Games and published by Fireshine Games, and it seems to be some sort of cross between Hollow Knight and Limbo and some of those other like horror-based side-scroller games. It's underwater horror this time, so, you know, I hope you can hold your breath well. It's too bad Killboss isn't here with me, or I'm not over at his place to record this, because he's a big fan of this kind of stuff. I am also, like, underwater horror is really cool, because you just never know what to expect. But this game's kind of got this free motion thing going on. It looks like it's a Metroidvania style game, too. You're gonna, like, have to find things to move on to other places. Clearly, it is 2D. It looks really, really cool, and I guess the main feature of this game is you have to inhabit fish and other like monsters, sea creatures and whatnot to move on throughout each level. So I guess the main purpose here in this game is you're going to be like inhabiting fish and stuff, like you're going to possess them to help you, and not just fish, but like sea creatures and various other things in the game to help you progress. There's going to be large sea creatures and I'm sure tons of monsters trying to kill you in this game. So I'm not too sure if there's going to be some sort of combat in it or not, but clearly it looks like insanely intriguing. I definitely want to check this one out if I can. So yeah, look for Silt coming on June 1st. Hey guys, I apologize. I am kind of sick. I recently went on a trip, got COVID, and pretty well recovered from it now. But you might even be able to see some of the suitcases and stuff. We were like we've been traveling and stuff, so it's been kind of crazy for Ash and I lately. So yeah, everything's a little bit of a mess over here. But anyway, back to the video. Enough about me. Number 3, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Coming out on June 24th for the Nintendo Switch exclusively, we've got a game developed by Omega Force and Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo and Koei Tecmo. We've got yet another Dynasty Warriors crossover with another game. It seems to be their bread and butter lately is to cross over with other games, because I'm sure we have lots of people that are fans of the Dynasty Warriors series, but it seems to me that they've been cashing in on crossovers over the past few years here, because we've had a Persona crossover, we had a Legend of Zelda crossover. They've been doing very well. They're very popular versions of the Warriors games, so it's not surprising that they're going to continue on and do another Fire Emblem Warriors one. This one features the characters from Fire Emblem Three Houses. And this one's called Three Hopes, I guess, just as a play on that. So yeah, you got all like a bunch of characters from those games in this. It's over 16 playable characters from what I understand. There's going to be like not all of them, but a lot of the Fire Emblem strategy is going to return to this game. Obviously, this isn't a strategy-based game. It is a hack and slash game for those that aren't familiar with Dynasty Warriors. it is the most bread and butter hack and slash game you can think of. This is a game where you're going to run in and just hack and slash literally your way through everything. That is the point of these games. It is almost mindless cleaving in this game, aside from the boss fights, which take a little bit more strategy. And I mean, and it depends, because I haven't played the Fire Emblem version. There might be a little bit more strategy in these versions of the games. I played the Persona version, Persona 5 Strikers, which was really, really good. It included a lot of the Persona game into it, and so there was a decent amount of strategy in regards to how to buff yourself, how to debuff the enemy, and that kind of thing. So I'm not sure. I'm not a Fire Emblem fan. I do want to be. It looks like a very great series, and one of these days I'm going to jump into it. I hear Three Houses is a good one to do that with. So maybe I will jump into it soon. At the end of the day, this game looks like it's going to be featuring a lot of the Fire Emblem stuff that you've come to love if you're a fan of the series. I've seen, it looks like the war map. It looks like there's partner specials. There's tons of battle prep between missions, and there's an OC character that you're playing as. There's some customization for them, not too much. I think you can like probably just change their gender and stuff, but there's unlockable battle styles that you can kind of customize your character to play how you want throughout. So that's pretty cool. And then there's also there's like a base camp and stuff between missions, and you can explore various dialogues with the characters as well. So anyways, this game's, if you're looking for a game that's going to be Fire Emblem, first of all, if you're a Fire Emblem fan, I'm sure you're looking for this. But if you're a Dynasty Warriors fan and you're unsure about this, give it a chance. I bet you'll like it, or better yet, go check out Fire Emblem Warriors, the first one, and that'll get you a little bit more acquainted with it without having to spend like $80 to $90 Canadian, that is. Number 2, Mario Strikers Battle League. And coming out on June 10th, we've got Mario Strikers Battle League coming up for the Nintendo Switch. This game looks really, really fun. Obviously, it's been around for a while, so you might already be familiar with the Mario Strikers series. This is like the third one in the series, though it's been like 8 years or something like that since the last one, 7 years. I'm not too sure. It was out on the Wii, was the last one. So it's developed by Next Level Games and published by Nintendo, of course. What you're looking at here is 4v4 Mario Kart Soccer, essentially. You got like a ton of the items that you've seen in Mario Kart in this game, and essentially you're playing soccer, but on top of that, you're kicking the crap out of each other. Like, there's tons of brutality in this game. You're literally like shoulder checking every second. If I remember from the older games, I didn't play the one on the Wii, actually. I played the OG one on the GameCube. That one was so much fun. But if I remember correctly, yeah, you're just beating the shit out of people while you're scoring goals. So in this game, there's a little bit more to it than just that, of course. So you've got, like I said, 4v4. Each character is playable. You can have up to 8 players playing in this game at once, which is really, really cool. So it's just another one of those games where you can just have as many players as you want playing at once, and it's just tons of fun. Tons of laughable moments. Like, it's just one of those kind of games. Mario games typically are those kind of games, I've noticed. But I digress. There's the ability to create teams. You can create strategies for your teams, and there's 10 playable characters from what I can see. So, like, pretty decent for selection. I hope they add more characters in the future via DLC or something like that. And it'd be cool if they had more playable on the start. Obviously, I could always complain about having more characters. There's tons of characters in Mario, so like they don't have a shortage of characters. But you know, creating all that stuff for each character has got to be a little bit tedious, if anything. But that being said, the Mario Kart style items return, like I said. So you got banana peels, you got like shells, you got like the blue shell, the green shell, red shell. There's just tons of items that you can just like kick the shit out of your enemy with. So it's great. There's no shortage of that. It's pretty much like Mario Kart Super Smash Bros. Rocket League with Mario characters. It's wild. This game is insane, and looks like one that's going to be really, really good, honestly. If you just look at the gameplay, you can kind of see the fun to be had right there. So anyways, there's like things you can do in this game. Like, if you're not familiar, there's like super shots are still in it. Essentially, you can charge up a shot in this game, and your character will go into this animation, and there are chances for the opponent to stop you and stuff like that. It's a pretty long, like, winded kick, so it takes a while to charge it up. But once you're in that like animation mini game, you can do a super shot for whatever character you're playing as, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to score 2 points if they land in the net, which they pretty well always do if you're able to do a super shot, so you always want to stop the opponent as quickly as possible if they're trying to charge that shit up. There's customizable characters in this game, so like I said, there's like 10 playable characters, and each of them has different clothing options. So this probably adds to the reason why there's not more than 10, because each of them has clothing options, different stats that can be changed based on the items you're wearing, and also based on the character you're playing as. They have base stats, and that can be changed with the clothing. And the online mode's taking a big like feature in this game. I know the Nintendo online experience hasn't been that great before, at least for me, playing on the Wii and stuff. That was like just horrid. I didn't play much on the Wii U, admittedly, but the Switch has been a lot better for that kind of stuff, and so they are focusing on online with this. It does let you rank up. You can be a part of a team online, like almost like some sort of guild system, it looks like. So that's really interesting, and if you're a fan of soccer or you're a fan of Mario and you're looking for something to do, I'd check this game out. It's really cool looking. And with that being said, let's move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, it's time for the honorable mention. Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course DLC.
Well, finally, coming out June 30th. This is like long time coming for Cuphead fans. They've been waiting a while for this. Coming out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So obviously, if you have a newer gen console, it'll still work on it. It's just not like designed for the next gen, essentially. It's not one of those games that needs it anyway. It is very visually appealing game, but they run perfectly fine on PS4 and Xbox One and all that. Great frame rate. And I digress. It's developed by Studio MDHR. It's also published by them. And I don't have a whole lot of information for this because they haven't really given much out. But it's also a DLC, so there's not like much to be said. Essentially, you got 4 new bosses. This is from what I understand. There might be more. There's new levels. It's featuring an entire new island, so I'm not sure how many levels is featured on that island, but essentially it's just more Cuphead if you're a Cuphead fan. And this one features a new playable character, Miss Chalice. Now, this kind of begs the question for me, like, I obviously don't have much more for news. This is pretty much it for Cuphead. That's what you get. I'm sure that's all people want, though. It's just a little bit more Cuphead. So, what I was going to say, though, is I kind of feel like they should add, like, a new mode to this game, like a 3-player mode, if they have a third character. I don't, like, I know it's hectic already, but just, I think there's no harm in trying that stuff, right? Maybe they have already, and they're like, well, you know what, this isn't going to work. But I think it would be fun. It'd be hectic, but I think it would be really fun. I wonder what's stopping them from doing something like that, or at least asking the fans how they feel about it. But that being said, that's all I have about the DLC to share with you guys. And so if you are interested in that, if you're a Cuphead fan, definitely keep an eye on it. It's coming out June 30th.
Number 1, The Quarry.
Okay, so coming out June 10th, and for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S, and X. It is The Quarry, another game from Supermassive. It's the developer, and it's actually published by 2K Games, which is really... It's weird. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I hope they just kind of keep their noses out of this and let Supermassive do their thing, because they are, so far, like, they have a great record. All of their games are amazing. I highly recommend playing Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures Anthology. All of those games are awesome. If you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of choose your own adventure, this is that kind of stuff. It's essentially a playable horror movie where you get to choose who lives or dies based on your reaction time and various other decision-based things. So anyways, this is the spiritual successor to Until Dawn. If you've ever played that game, you might be a little bit more familiar. That one's different from the Dark Pictures Anthology in a couple ways. Mainly, I believe there's collectibles and stuff in this one that you can collect. I think that's one of the biggest changes. The other one is the fact that there's more characters in this. So I think the Dark Pictures Anthology focuses on 5, whereas these games, this one particularly, has 9 characters. So it's, you know, like, there's a little bit more. And all 9 of them are playable. And I believe you can play with up to 9 people in the room. This game features an A-list cast. You got David Arquette, Ariel Winter, Lin Shaye, plenty more. Everybody here seems to have some sort of experience as an actor, that's for sure. I've seen them before in some of these other ones. No disrespect to them, I'm horrible with names. Having that many cool actors on board just shows that this game has a lot of funding behind it at the very least. But yeah, you got roughly 10 hours of replayability. So 10 hours isn't like the longest game ever, but the amount of times you're going to want to replay this game, it definitely pads that out. Like, there's no chance in hell you're not going to play this game a second time. There's just so many different chances and changes that you can make in this game. It's a choice-based game. If you're not familiar with it, I'll just go back to basics here. It's got quick time events. It's got lots of decision making, and these decisions will affect how you live or die in the end. Now, there's over 186 endings in this game. So just to kind of paint the picture for you guys, I'm sure you can see it just the same, but it's featured in Hackett's Quarry is the name it's called. It's like a summer camp. It's got this 1980s teen horror thing going on for it, clearly. And it's got some like cool stuff that you can get with the deluxe version. I think they said that some of the stuff you can get in the game later on, but the deluxe version, if you get right away, lets you have the rewind mechanic, which is like a mechanic in this game that I feel like people have been asking for a while, just as like a way to go through the game again without like taking tons of time out of your life. Because essentially the rewind mechanic does exactly that. It rewinds you, lets you undo a mistake that you made in the game. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if you get like a bunch of them per game or if it just lets you do it once, but it's still a way to essentially save a character from death, which is pretty cool, but it sucks that you have to pay for the deluxe version to get that. That being said, you also get more stuff in the deluxe version too. There's like 80s themed outfits and stuff too. So yeah, if you want to pay more for it, I don't think I would mind paying more for it, because these guys, I trust them. They've given me a lot of great moments and experiences. So playing for the deluxe version of a game like this, I feel like I wouldn't mind too much, despite the fact that it's normally a $60 Canadian game. So I think for you guys in the States, it's like $40. But that being said, it's still like, it's gonna give you lots of replayability, lots of time, and like, it's a good experience. It looks awesome. It's definitely a game I'm gonna be playing probably sometime in June, I hope. I don't know when, but I really am gonna be trying to play that for sure. So one of the things that this game offers that's different from the other ones that I really appreciate is it's gonna have a movie mode. It's essentially, you don't have to play this game at all at this point. They have a way where you can like adjust the filters for each character. You can kind of like customize character traits to make them play a certain way and make them make certain decisions. And you get to choose who lives or die from the start and essentially just watch how it plays out. Which is just amazing to me. That is so cool. It allows people that can't play games to play, and even people that want to play the game and have some challenge or even just experience it somewhat. They have tons of accessibility options. You can turn off like the QuickTime events. You can turn off some of the other events that occur in the game. Like, you can literally change it to super easy mode. You can make it regular and hard mode. Like, you don't have to have everybody have the same features. Like, it's per character. So just insane accessibility options in this game. I super appreciate that. And for people, because I know lots of people that aren't good at games but love to take them in and love to experience them, so this just gives people like so much more of an avenue to do that. So many more people are going to buy this game because of that. I just know it. Last thing I want to bring up about this game is it also features camera filters, so you can have, I think, up to 4 different kinds. I forgot to write down the rest of them, but they essentially let you play the game in different like filters. So like classic 80s style filter, there's like a black and white filter, and I think there's a couple others. But that being said, it's just, like I said, the accessibility and the options they have in this game are pretty good. I'm pretty impressed, and I hope to see this game succeed. I really do, because 2K has a bad track record, first of all, but Supermassive has a great track record. And I don't want to see that tarnished in any way. They've just been nonstop on fire, so I hope that continues with the Quarry coming out on June 10th. So that brings us to the end of the episode. This is the top 5 of June, so if you like these games, make sure you keep an eye out in this next month here, because they're coming out. I told you all the dates there, so if you need to go back, go check it out. That being said, if you like this video and you want to support the channel, you like what we're trying to do here, make sure you like the video, make sure you comment what your favorite game was, make sure you share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel, that all helps out so much, and we appreciate any and all support. Check out our live streams at twitch.tv/ProjectSuperVillain. We stream every Thursday and Friday, usually around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come by and hang out. We're always playing something different. We're a variety channel, so pretty well something different every weekend. Come hang out. We appreciate you. It's usually Throwback Thursdays and Feature Fridays, and sometimes we do streams on Tuesdays as well. But yeah, that's twitch.tv/ProjectSuperVillain. And that's it for today's video. So thanks for joining, and thanks for watching, and Project Dismissed. Peach out.
Yeah.